and welcome back to Rumor Has It Official. Let's get straight into talking all about 90 Day Fiance. Happily Ever After. This is season 6, episode 16. This is part 1 of the tell-all. I'm going to get straight into this tell-all because it was definitely something. Part 1 was definitely something, and we all know why it was definitely something, because it was just too much going on. And I'm just going to say the color that the person had on that just was doing too much on this part 1 tell-all. Red. The color was red. Whoever on that panel had red on, that's who was doing too much. Red with a high ponytail. Let's just say it. So I do have my handy dandy phone here. I will be reading from my notes. I'm going to go ahead and get straight into this recap. I read from my notes, that way I can stay on topic and I can get all these points out that I want to discuss in regards to this tell-all. So this tell-all part 1 was definitely something. All of the couples are still struggling in their own way. Nothing has changed. Either things are the same or they have worsened. Angela comes out in this all red romper and a high ponytail. So that's who I was talking about, who is doing too much, always is doing too much. She's prancing around, showing off her new breasts and her weight loss. So while we're watching the season play out, by the end of recovery, she said she lost about 80 pounds. So now at this point, she said she hit her goal weight. She has now lost 100 pounds. So I guess Michael was making fun of the fact that her breasts were really small. She said he was making fun of her really bad. So that prompted her to go and get more surgery. So she went and got breast implants. Now, I'm just going to kind of skip through all the couples. The only couples that I really won't be talking about is Jovi and Yara, and Brandon and Julia, because I never really recapped them anyway. But I will say with Natalie, she has now moved to Florida. Now, the crazy thing was Sean at one point wanted to know if Mike is seeing anyone, since now Natalie is living in Florida. And when he says that he's not seeing anyone, Natalie has this smile on her face, as though she's hopeful or she wants to be with him. Or could it possibly be that it's like, okay, that's good, you haven't found anyone since I left? That just made her feel good, the fact that he said no, he hasn't been seeing anyone else. I don't know why she smiled, because she obviously doesn't want him, since she packed up and moved all the way to Florida. Come to find out, she's actually seeing someone new. Thanks to Jovi's big mouth, he's the one who outed her, saying that she joined them for dinner with another man. Natalie traveled to New Orleans with a man and went on a double date with Jovi and Yara. Now, all the cast do what they do best, and that's point fingers at one another when none of them are exempt. You know, they've all had a very rocky journey within their relationships, within their marriages. But like I said, they love to point the finger at each other, and I just think it's hilarious. The cast start to gang up on Natalie and want to know who is supporting her now that she lives in Florida. She didn't want to say, but Mike is still supporting her. And after finding out that, you know, she is basically has moved on, she's been dating, and, you know, he's still been taking care of her. Mike goes on to say that he plans to file for divorce because they're not together. And also that he's cutting her off and deactivating the card. But my thought was, can he actually do that, since he is her sponsor? Can he do that at this time? So next they move on to Tiffany and Ronald. Tiffany says that she packed her bags, but Ronald then decided to open up and apologize. So where we last left off, he was throwing luggage at her and telling her to leave, and he was going to keep the kids and she can go ahead and make plans to go back to America, while he now becomes a father because, you know, she's kept him from the kids long enough, right? So that's where we last left off, with her actually packing her bag. He's saying that after that, he realized that he was wrong and he apologized to her once he actually seen that she was going to actually walk out the door. Now, Tiffany says that she was there for 4 months with the kids. And honestly, that would have been the last straw for me. I wouldn't have stayed longer after he was that disrespectful. And just the things that he said, the way he conducted himself, you know, this is his place. He said it was his house. through her luggage, telling her she can leave. What is she still doing there? You know, telling her that she thinks she is royalty. And just, he was very disrespectful, and I wouldn't have stayed there. That would have been my last day in South Africa. Now, Ronald says that Tiffany is the reason that he is not in the U.S. And Yard chimes in saying that Tiffany doesn't allow Ronald to take charge and can feel Tiffany's independent energy. And my whole thing was like, girl, shut up. You shut up. She has to be independent. And I think that Tiffany is independent because she has to be. And Ronald hasn't showed her that she can trust him to help her and take on big responsibilities. So Ronald says that he was frustrated because he felt that she was getting too close to the cameraman. Now, you remember when they went and had their marriage counseling session, and when Tiffany told him she's not getting back in the car and she walked and sat in this little area, there was a bottle of some liquor there. And he was saying that she had planned to stay there and get drunk and drink with the cameraman. So I don't know if that's true. We haven't seen her flirting with the cameraman and getting chummy. I don't know. But he said, you know, it makes him jealous basically because she's always raving about the cameraman. He does this, he does that, and he doesn't want to hear that. So comment down below your thoughts on that situation. Now, Tiffany says that Ronald was jealous and it's not her problem. Now, Tiffany and Ronald's mothers, both of their mothers, joined the tell-all. Ronald's mom says that she doesn't want to lose Tiffany as her daughter and would hate to see her leave and divorce Ronald. I feel like that's kind of unfair because it's like, do you not know what's really going on? I mean, you know your son better than anybody else. So do you not know what's going on? And if your son is not providing happiness or stability to her, then she has every right. What you should be saying is, you're always going to be a daughter to me. I'm going to always love and support you in whatever decision you choose to make. I'm going to always be here for you and the kids. Not, I would be so distraught, or don't want to see her leave. I don't want to see her divorce Ronald. Like, don't put that type of pressure on somebody, because I don't feel people should stay in situations that are unhealthy just for the sake of, I don't want to break the family apart. So I really didn't like that, but I get that his mom is coming from a good place. She's a really sweet woman, but I just feel like don't put that type of pressure on people to stay in situations that are not best for them. So Tiffany gets emotional and says that she's irritated. Now, Ronald is under the impression that they will work things out. By the way Tiffany was looking, I'm not so sure. Let's go back to Mike and Natalie. They bring out Mike's mother, Trish. Trish says that Natalie has been lying about everything. They bring up the hooker comment to hopefully put this to rest for good. I hope this is done. I really do. I hope it's over with. I mean, if Natalie goes on to be a part of the new season of Single Life, I sure hope that she doesn't bring up the hooker comment again. Like, let's just put this to rest. I'm so over it. Now, Natalie says that Mike had a photo of a naked woman on his phone the weekend that he proposed to her. Mike says that it was his ex and that his ex was trying to get back with him. And this is my thing. I don't know about that. Because Natalie says that the photo was in the deleted section of his photos. That means if his ex sent him a nude photo to his cell phone, he would have had to save the image in order to get it onto his phone, in order to then delete it and it be in the deleted section of his photos. So Mike was looking at them pictures. And like I said, none of these two, both of them aren't perfect in this situation. Both of them have said, done, caused a lot of mess, and didn't really set themselves up to be successful because the foundation just wasn't right from the beginning. So Trish, of course, doesn't want Mike to stay married to Natalie. That's not a shock. Now, once they take a break, Natalie decides to waltz her behind over to Trish. And I don't know why she thought that was a good idea. Trish came there to fight, okay? And she accused Natalie of lying. She said that Natalie had lied on Uncle Bo, saying that. Now, I will say it wouldn't even be hard for me to believe that, right? Because even Mike, you remember Mike was hiding Natalie's ring at the very top in his closet on a shelf, like dropping it in some portion of the shelf in his closet. So at that point, it was just him and Uncle Bo. So that makes me believe that he was hiding it from him too. So he probably does. I mean, Uncle Bo does have a little bit of a past here, and he's living with Mike. So maybe no one else wants to take him in, but I can see that. Maybe he does have some sticky fingers. I'm just saying, because if Mike is hiding stuff and hiding the ring in certain little crevices and cracks in the house, then Mike's not hiding it from himself. He wasn't hiding it from Natalie because she hadn't even arrived yet. So he was hiding it from Uncle Bo. So I can believe that. He probably did. And that's, another reason why how everything kind of panned out, where she didn't really feel comfortable with him in the house, because he probably does have a past and she knows some things that maybe Mike shared with her. So that's why he, eventually left the house, because she wasn't comfortable with him staying there. Next, they talked to Angela and Michael, and Angela says that Michael made fun of her and it was painful. One thing I thought was hilarious, how they really want us to believe that, I think his name is Dr. Obang or Obag, whatever, her plastic surgeon. They really want us to believe that her and him have something going on, or had something going on. Like, they were trying to really run with that narrative. And I'm thinking to myself, like, stop. That doctor does not want, I'm so sorry, he does not want Angela. So nice try, but nah, I don't even see that. And then it was funny because a lot of things were coming out about that. And they were like, oh yes, so our producers tell us that you were in the car with Dr. Obag, or you were at his party. And she was like, oh, I forgot all about that. Like, it just was so phony to me. It was so phony. They were basically trying to feed Angela drama. I think at this point, there's really nothing going on that much with Angela and Michael, for real. So they bring Angela back for the drama. They know they can count on her for the drama, and the way she blows up and handles herself. They know they can count on her for that. So that's the only reason why, in my opinion, why she is still on this show. So like I said, that doctor does not want Angela. Now, this tell-all ended with Angela cursing out Michael's Aunt Lydia and flashing her breasts. Flashing her breast to Michael, flashing her breast to Aunt Lydia. And she was even turning a little bit because she wanted the cast and the men and on that panel to see her breasts as well. Of course, Angela is mad, disrespectful when his Aunt Lydia joins the tell-all. We know that she's capable of keeping her mouth shut, though. I will say that she is capable, because while a lot of the other cast was talking, like couples were talking and stuff, she didn't really chime in a lot. She was pretty quiet. She kept quiet. So, and even when, if you notice, when Ronald compared his relationship to Michael and Angela, she didn't chime in and say nothing to him. So she's capable of keeping that mouth shut, though, because like I said, she didn't chime in one bit. The only time she chimed in is when she went off on Natalie and told Natalie to take her behind back to Ukraine. She didn't say behind. I'm saying behind. But, she really got rowdy. She was like, take your behind back to Ukraine, and that she was tired of Natalie playing victim. So I really thought that this tell-all part one was something just towards the end, with how Angela was going off and so disrespectful to Aunt Lydia. She wouldn't allow Aunt Lydia to get a word in. I think that she is threatened by Aunt Lydia because she knows that Michael might listen to her somewhat, and she wants to have full control over Michael. She wants Michael to only listen to her. And like I said, she just crossed a lot of lines, went below the belt, telling Aunt Lydia, are you sleeping with him? And while I understand, I think that Aunt Lydia just wants the best for Michael and wants him to stand up for himself, because that is really not the Nigerian way for him to be so submissive to her. It's just part of their culture. So I feel like she wants the best for her nephew and wants him to have a voice. And I think regardless of culture, where you come from, I think that everybody should be able to voice how they feel and be heard and feel heard. But in this situation, it has to be Angela's way or no way. Angela's way or the highway. So I'm very curious to know, besties, what you thought about part 1 of this tell-all for 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After. This is season 6, episode 16. Comment down below all of your thoughts on all the craziness that jumped off in this part 1 of the tell-all. Give this video a big thumbs up, share, subscribe, plus hit that bell so you will be notified on future uploads. And I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Peace.